You're watching eSailing TV. Welcome back to our live coverage of the Cicero Cup, and it is race 2 of 3 to qualify for the double points medal race. So things really hotting up now. We've had the first race that went to Italy's Luca, and we will see how he gets on this time. So if we can zoom in to that race, I believe they're underway now. So race 2 is underway, and it's a good start for the British boat, Maradoni. Espana 1731 is also in the hunt, sitting there in second place at the moment. We've got teams from Turkey, from Cuba, from all over the world competing, and of course the sailors sitting in home country. That's how they stand going into race 2, with Luca 56124 of Italy out in front. He's the man to catch. Plenty of racing still to come. Let's get back to the action. We watch from above as they close in on that yellow mark at the top of the course. About 300 meters to go of this first upwind leg, the first of 4 legs as they race each other. Some of the top names in eSailing here.
And what we're just seeing here, Alec, as we told in the start, it's a slow boat going upwind. We can see the average speed is 6.0. The maximum speed I have experienced is 6.3 when they're going upwind. So it's slow strategic tactic work to have to do when they're going upwind towards the gate mark. And see how slow it's going. There's 230 meters left. Nice and slow going up, but when they're racing downwind, that's where the fight is going to be. Let's try to go into a boat and see it here in 3D. So right now they're just tagging along, throwing dirty air on each other, trying to penalty each other, so we're getting a slowdown. And a slowdown upwind is not that costly. It only costs 6 meters in total. And we have a small fight here, just to say Maradoni wants to control the Spanish boat, but he is also under control by the Ukrainian boat, so he has to wait till the Ukrainian boat is tacking along.
So an interesting battle on this left ley line, the ley line being the white dotted line. That is the most efficient way of sailing to that top mark. That's the direction they're all aiming for. And in a moment, we're going to see the fleet on the other side of the mark. So okay, so we've now changed angle, so let's stick with this, and we will watch the two sides of the fleet from the left and from the right converging in on this top mark.
And we're going to see a lot of penalties. Those coming from the left towards right have the priority, so if those coming from the right side sails into them, they will get a penalty. So here, RSC Bundesliga team.
The Germans who are out in front coming into the top mark. Lucas Moore in the hunt again. He was second in the last race. He is determined to make that medal race and prove himself with the best. So there's a spreader mark which keeps the fleet apart. They're sailing across to that now, and you can see the big spinnakers at the front of those boats heading to the left of the screen. They fill with air, they accelerate down over the sea, and with the J70, you would see them plane along over the ocean as they head downwind, and you can see the acceleration, 15 knots. So they had more than doubled the speed of when they were coming upwind, and I reckon the leaders are almost at the bottom gate. So which way are they going to go? Is Lucas Moore going to follow the German boat around the gate? They can choose. Do they go around the left one, or do they go around the right one? These two, I suspect, are going to stick together so that Moore keeps in touch with the leader.
And they're splitting up. Lucas Moore going the opposite way. Yeah.
So this is going to be interesting. We can watch this battle unfold as second, third and fourth now come into the bottom gate. L1, the world champion, is round in fourth. 767 of Ukraine also had a great first race, is having a good second race now. So, AlessandroMerlino, one of our local organisers, he's in the hunt. He's sitting in fifth, so he's He's coming back from a poor first race. We've just seen Roxy Johnny go round. And our winner from race 1 is currently sitting in 7th. There you go. You can see him trying to gather speed upwind again.
And here we see a penalty to the blue boat. It's Laf Paco with a penalty. He got the penalty to sail into one of the other boats because the other boat had the priority. And how do we know about the priority rules? Here we're taking 2 boats. When you are zooming into the boats with the red ring on will not get the penalty if another boat is hitting them. So if we are focusing example on Cruzolator here, no, he's tagging away. Let's focus on Luca. If another boat is closing Luca, and we're focused on him, if he's getting a red ring, the other boat will get a penalty.
So upwind they go. Now you can see our leaders. You can see just how much they've slowed, but you can also see how close they are. So Lucas Moore has closed the gap on the Bundesliga team of Germany. Interestingly enough, the Bundesliga is actually a sailing league in Germany, and they do sail J70s. So I'm thinking, I don't know who is on board that Bundesliga team boat, but I suspect it might be one of the sailors that compete.
I have some extra info about this guy. He's profile of the week on eSailingTV. He's 14 years old, fighting Lucas Mordes, just 19, and his favorite boat is actually the Nacra 17, but he's still doing a fine strategic job here. He's sitting in Hamburg and playing, and the reason why he's called this name is because he wants his local team to go up to the Bundesliga again, but it didn't go that way. So German first, Lucas Moore second.
Yeah, you have to qualify to compete in that. So we've got a 14-year-old at the head of this race being chased by a 19-year-old. So a really wide age range. If you were with us at the start of the show, you'd have seen our interview with AlessandroMerlino, who I know won't mind me telling you he's in his 50s. So a real range of ages here. And at the moment, it's a German, followed by a Dane, followed by the French L1 in 3rd.
And let's try to go to a new position. See how they're splitting up, Alec. If we're reading the radar, most of the wind are on the left side, at the left lane mark here, where we see a huge fight between Lucas Moore and HSC Bundesliga. And the Ukrainian boat all by himself at the right side. Let's see the speed. 12.2, 12.5, 13.
So as we watch the rear enders round that top mark, let's now follow the battle towards the finish line. With our leaders, there is the finish line, the yellow line right ahead of us, and Lucas Moore, I don't think is going to be able to catch Bundesliga team. But I tell you what, there's only 12 meters in it, but it's not enough for Lucas Moore to close the gap. The victory goes to the German, and the Dane takes second for the second time, and I suspect that might see him go to the top of the leaderboard overall. Here comes L1 in 3rd, the Frenchman and world champion, and 767 of Ukraine. Once again, a good result from him. And then AlessandroMerlino and Azere of Cuba in the hunt for 5th and 6th. Havoc of Turkey in 7th. And our winner from race 1, Luca, 56124 of Italy, is in the top 10 as well. So those results all changing on the left-hand side, as you'd expect, as the computer does its calculations. But there we are. There's confirmation then of the winner from Germany, Lucas Moore in 2nd, L1 3rd, the Ukrainian 767 in 4th, and a much better result for AlessandroMerlino in 5th. 8th in the end for Luca, Deja Vu of Great Britain in 9th, the Belgian, Red Dragon in 13th, the Dutchman, Oho in 14th, Ballista 71 19th. Oh, and our early leader in this race, Maradoni, in the end fell back to finish in 17th place, a full minute